What? It arrived, huh? Hey, Sparty, the DOX made it, huh? Made it to New York. What? Hang on, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's you know, it left Germany last November. We were here. Huh? 4 continents. It went to 4 continents. 80 days around the world, my ass. Yeah, so you can do that in a week, right? Can you imagine? Around the world in 7 days. I mean, that'd be amazing. Nobody's ever going to beat that. Yeah. Look, I got to go because we cannot cut into schnitzel and schmaltz again. We cannot. We'll get fired. All right, see ya.
Headline of the month: The enemies of democracy unite and fail in Prussia.
I'm Indy Nidell.
I'm Spartacus Olson.
This is The Rise of Hitler. Welcome back to the Weimar Wire, covering all of August's anxious assemblies, authoritarian ambitions, and alarming alliances.
There's actually another main headline this month.
Shout it out.
As well. Science fiction, live from Berlin. This month, the 8th Great German Radio Exhibition opens in Berlin, and while times may be tough, progress never stops.
Let's have a look back at last month, July 1931, right? France finally accepted the Hoover moratorium, but before anyone can celebrate, German banks began to collapse. The Reich scrambled for credit, protests broke out, and the financial panic spread.
Meanwhile, Berlin was gripped by the Holy Heist.
Oh, that was funny.
It was, yeah. A rogue preacher stealing the original 1848 Constitution, some valuables, and a stash of banned books from the Reichstag. His trial draws widespread media attention and quickly turns into a farce.
And back to August. Okay, this is going to be an exciting month. But we got to do Where's Hitler? What's Adolf Hitler up to this month?
This month? Hitler, uncharacteristically, isn't up to that much, at least according to the sources we have here at the Weimar.
Well, one thing Hitler does do is open a press office for the Nazi Party, the NSDAP, in Munich. According to those sources, it has a clear purpose.
The press office within the Reich leadership of the NSDAP was an initial attempt to systematically coordinate the extremely heterogeneous National Socialist press landscape.
Hitler also has some legal troubles. He is accused of perjury, but he denies all charges.
Regarding the criminal charge in general, I must declare that I am not guilty in any way of an intentional or negligent breach of my oath.
Hitler and the Nazi Party are also on the verge of entering, what do I want to say, planning purgatory.
He plans to build an annex for the Brown House, the fairly new Nazi headquarters in Munich, which opens its doors on January 1st. Hitler, however, now hears rumors that the Bavarian Minister of the Interior, Karl Stützel, is considering putting an end to these plans.
Okay, why is the ministry getting involved?
Well, as in any good planning dispute, neighbors have complained. In this case, the neighbors have an influential friend to advocate on their behalf. Historian Freiherr von Pöllnitz, who writes a letter directly to the Bavarian Minister of the Interior.
We are already severely harmed by the proximity of the so-called Brown House. The guard already stationed there has, through singing, shouting, and constant repeated fistfights among themselves, and with passers-by of all kinds, created a source of unrest that has already greatly devalued our property. The formerly quiet neighborhood has now become one of the most agitated places in the city. Entire chains of cars surround the building. What kind of chaos will follow if a clubhouse, barracks, or office building is also erected there?
It turns out you don't want to live next to Nazis, huh? Who knew? The Brown House is located not just anywhere, but on Brienner Straße 45.
Ouch.
Yep. The Brienner Straße is the oldest of Munich's 4 historic Prachtstraßen, prestigious boulevards.
Yeah. Now, in those streets, there are very strict special regulations regarding pretty much everything, so the minister does have some leeway. Meanwhile, Hitler has this to say.
The construction or non-construction of a rear wing on the site of a former now demolished building plays no role whatsoever in this matter.
Well, good luck with that, Adolf. Look, hey, I want to get to the top story, the situation in Prussia, Germany's largest federal state, with roughly 3/5 of the total German population and land area, right?
Yeah, to do that, we need to go back to February. The Stahlhelm, Germany's largest paramilitary organization with roughly 500,000 members and closely aligned to the traditional right-wing party, the German National People's Party, DNVP, submits a formal request.
This formal request regards a referendum.
And why? In order to make possible a government in Prussia that reflects the clearly established will of the people as expressed in the election of September 14, 1930.
That election was a huge disappointment for the democratic forces in Germany and a big win for the non-democratic forces, notably the Nazis and the communists.
What the Stahlhelm wants through this referendum is for the state government of Prussia to resign, reform, based more closely on the desire of the German voters.
And why Prussia specifically? Well, Prussia is considered by many to be the bulwark of democracy, republicanism, and the Weimar Constitution in Germany.
And the current government reflects that. In Prussia, the Weimar coalition still runs the show. That's the Social Democrats,
The SPD,
the Catholic Conservative Party under Chancellor Brüning,
Centrum Party,
and the German Democratic Party.
still commonly known as the DDP, although officially it changed its name to the German State Party, the DSTP.
This coalition has been in power in Prussia since 1920. However, the times have changed, and this left-leaning government is a thorn in the side of the political right.
A very big thorn, since Prussia, because of its size and population, nearly rivals the federal government in power. But it's not merely the fact that the SPD-led government under Prime Minister Otto Braun and Minister of the Interior Karl Severing exists and functions relatively well that upsets the right so much.
Prussia has also stood up for democracy, like when it opposed Nazi school prayers in the Reichsrat, Weimar state represented upper chamber.
Or when it was one of the first to ban Nazi uniforms, back in June last year. It's no wonder that parties like the NSDAP and DNVP want to tear down social democratic Prussia.
Hence the referendum. On March 4th, the referendum idea is accepted, and the Stahlhelm has time to search for signatures and allies.
One, they already have, the DNVP. Hey, you know what's funny, Sparty?
What?
If the new government should, as they say, reflect the clearly established will of the people, then the DNVP shouldn't really play a big part in it.
Yeah, you mean since they also lost roughly 8% in the election, halving their representation in Prussia.
Exactly. But hey, since when do extremist demands for referenda make a ton of sense, right?
All right. But other allies are also soon found. Eventually, the Nazis and the Economy Party,
The WP,
and the German People's Party,
the DVP,
joined together with some other very small parties.
How many signatures do they actually get in the end, though? Do they get enough?
Barely. 5.96 million signatures, just north of the 20% minimum threshold needed to have a referendum.
You know, you really do forget how massive Prussia is in relation to the other states. Consider Bavaria, the second largest German state, with a total population of roughly 7.4 million people. Meanwhile, Prussia has 38.2 million. That's more than 5 times Bavaria's size.
Indeed. In June, the Prussian state parliament considers dissolving itself, but doesn't.
With SPD, Centrum, and DDP holding 226 of 450 seats in parliament, they managed to block that. And the referendum is set for August 9th, this month.
In the meantime, Alfred Hugenberg, media magnate and head of the DNVP, and Adolf Hitler have realized that the chances of success are slim.
With Hugenberg only providing limited financial assistance and Hitler only sporadically giving support, the idea seems destined to fail. Until enemies unite on the 22nd of July, that is.
What do you mean?
Out to the referendum, against the policy of emergency decrees, for a united workers' front against fascism, Red Prussia, for a free socialist Germany.
The communists join? But why?
2 reasons. For one, because the leader of the German Communist Party says so.
You mean Ernst Thälmann?
No, I mean the real leader.
Ah, Joseph Stalin.
Bingo! Since 1928, when the KPD in Germany underwent a dramatic shift and Thälmann rose to power, the communists have been very loyal not to Berlin, but to Moscow.
But it still doesn't make sense to me. Why does Stalin want to support the right-wing forces?
This is really realpolitik. Short and simple. Stalin is spooked by the recent Franco-German rapprochement, as we saw during the financial negotiations last month. For Moscow, supposedly, this now is the lesser of two evils. To Stalin, a more right-wing and independent Germany is preferable to the subjugation of Germany to French imperialism, the integration of Germany into the anti-Soviet bloc.
Okay, I bet I can guess what the second reason is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Together with swearing fealty to their Soviet overlords in Moscow in 1928, the KPD also did something else, something some describe as an ultra-left turn. They declare that the real enemy isn't the fascists. The real enemy is the social fascists, the SPD.
Exactly.
Here's what the Communist Party has to say about this referendum.
With their politics, Brown and Severing have become the pioneers of fascism. The Brüning Front could not wish for more loyal sentries, no better defenders than the Prussian government. After that, the communists aren't the only ones loudly drumming up support for this death blow to this social democratic administration. The Nazis quickly become very vocal supporters of the referendum as well. This is likely because Hitler now sees a genuine chance of success and he does not want to be left behind.
National Socialists, Prussia. The German people are dying, but as long as social democracy and the Center Party are not overcome, Germany will not rise again. The destruction of social democracy and the Center Party in Prussia is the precondition for the survival of the German people. In your hands lie freedom and the future of our race.
So what is the government in Prussia doing to fight all this?
Well, easy. As they say in Germany, they sit at the longer lever. In English, they are in the driver's seat.
Which means?
That on August 6th, the Prussian government simply orders all newspapers to print a simple statement. It reads,
"Whoever, out of blind hatred for the achievements of democracy, wants to bring down the government of the Weimar coalition in Prussia, whoever wants to replace order and security with the mutual butchery of radical parties battling for power, a fratricidal war within our own country, whoever wants a Soviet Prussia or a fascist Prussia, go to the referendum and vote yes."
Yeah, but there's also backroom scheming going on. On August 1st, President Hindenburg, the most powerful man in Germany, meets with someone he has refused to see for the last 18 months.
Alfred Hugenberg. And Hugenberg makes one thing clear.
Price of his future support is deposing the Social Democrat-led Prussian government. He also explains to Hindenburg that Hitler is not a rabid socialist, but a committed patriot.
Well, Hindenburg explains that dissolving the Prussian government lies beyond even his vast constitutional powers. He does make a concession.
He promises that he will do his best to persuade German Chancellor Brüning to dissolve his national government and form a new cabinet that includes the opposition.
Hindenburg, too, wants a more right-wing government, not only in Prussia, but across the whole of Germany, regardless of whether it may come at the cost of democracy.
Despite him privately referring to Braun, the head of the Prussian SPD government, as a natural governing type and a perfectly reasonable person. So the referendum takes place. Here are the results. Over 90% of voters vote yes, vote to bring down the current Prussian government. But it fails.
Not 90%, 90%. How did that fail?
Because while 90% of those who voted yes, fewer than 10 million total voters showed up to vote.
Only 10 million or so. Huh?
Well, as you said before, Prussia is really quite large. And fun fact, the referendum such as this one requires an absolute majority of eligible voters more than 50%. That'd be over 13 million votes out of some 26.9 million eligible voters.
And now the aftermath. Here is what the Social Democrats have to say.
The victory of the Republic, complete defeat of the betrayal of the people. 16 million voters expressed their confidence in the Republican Prussian government. Communist murder of police officers is revenge for that defeat.
Well, it's not so much that they expressed their confidence as they didn't show up to vote. But I suppose that it amounts to the same thing.
Yeah, 6 of this, half a dozen of the other. Also, communist murder of police officers?
Right, yeah.
Here's the story. So around noon on the day of the referendum, police clash with communist protesters at Bülowplatz in Berlin.
The Karl Liebknecht House, the communist headquarters, that's where it is. Eventually, the brawl evolves into a gunfight, with officers supposedly left with no other choice than to fire into the mass of demonstrators. One is confirmed dead after suffering a shot to the chest, and several others are wounded. 2 police officers also lay dead.
And that's not all. On Sunday night after the referendum, protracted gunfights between Nazis and communists and a chase involving communists and the Reichsbahn, the Republic's paramilitary organization, also rock the capital.
All this draws the ire of the authorities, as 50 communists and Nazis are arrested. But police also occupy the Karl Liebknecht House and close it until the 20th.
And the Rote Fahne, the biggest communist newspaper, is also banned for 2 weeks.
While the communists suffer most, the Nazis and DNVP are also disappointed with the referendum's results. That cannot be said about the victorious Weimar coalition parties, and not only them.
Yeah, abroad at a time when Germany, because of the dire financial situation, is dependent on foreign support, perhaps more than ever, the press also expresses its satisfaction with the results.
Notes of approval come from press outlets in the US, France, Britain, Denmark, Switzerland, even Italy.
All in all, the results show one thing, as the Vossische Zeitung explains.
The decision of August 9th strengthens the confidence that the constructive forces will prevail. This confidence will have an impact both domestically and abroad.
Okay, before we run over time again, let's have a quick look at science fiction
Cool.
coming
I
to
love
life.
science fiction, yeah.
The 8th Greater German Radio Show.
Now, it opens on the 21st and runs till the 30th. While the economy might be tanking, radio is surging. The demand from all parts of the population exceeds the projections made by German radio manufacturers.
At the exhibition, featuring 304 individual exhibits, visitors can marvel at the latest technology. Radio does really seem to be the medium of the future. Look at us, Indy. We are the future.
Hang on a second. I went to the exhibition, okay? The centerpiece possibly suggests otherwise.
What is that?
You gotta go, okay?
Okay.
Well, it ended the other day. Well, you gotta go next year, because I'm sure they'll do something cool. It was amazing. I should have taken photos. What it
You
is...
should have taken me.
I should have taken you, yeah. Well, what it is, okay? Get this. The world's first digital television. A digital television, excuse me. Young genius inventor Manfred von Ardenne, together with German company Löwe, premieres it. So no more spinning discs and, clunky mechanics, just pure electronics.
That means pictures are captured and shown using just beams of light and vacuum tubes. No mirrors, no noise, no blur.
It's amazing. And it's better picture quality, faster frame rates, and it's, something that might one day be actually watchable at home.
But hold on, Andy. Wasn't this already invented in 1927 by the American Philo Farnsworth?
Farnsworth? Well, not if you ask RCA, the American radio giant. They say he stole ideas from their guy, Vladimir Zworykin. And anyhow, Farnsworth's blueprints still used mirrors, and that's analog, not digital. Mirrors.
For a machine that's supposed to send moving pictures through the air, sounds more like a magic trick than a breakthrough.
Exactly. And RCA and Farnsworth are locked in patent wars, and it doesn't look like it'll be settled anytime soon. Ardenne just skipped all the courtroom drama, and he built it, and I gotta tell you, it was amazing. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
It's so cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's it is like a box, right?
Yeah, I get it. But,
it's like movies, but there's no cable.
At home, so it's like a radio, but with pictures. It's radio with pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's really cool.
Okay, now here's the Global Wire, covering the most impactful global events.
First up, China. On August 10th, an 8.0 magnitude on the Richter scale earthquake strikes Fuyuan County in northwestern China, killing more than 10,000 people. At the same time, it's been constantly raining since July, with water levels peaking at 16 meters above average on August 19th, massively flooding the Yangtze and Huai rivers.
Then, on August 25th, the dike near Lake Guayu bursts. The result? one of the world's deadliest disasters ever. Roughly 180,000 square kilometers of land are submerged, an area larger than New York State. Estimates suggest hundreds of thousands of people drowned, with projections of between 400,000 and 4 million additional fatalities from starvation, disease, and displacement in the months to come. China's August is brutal.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy news. Yeah.
Big, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Britain's isn't much better in financial terms, as the German banking crisis somehow creeps across the channel. London's acceptance houses, elite trade finance banks, and the backbone of British short-term credit are suddenly holding massive amounts of frozen German and Austrian bills. Confidence nosedives, gold reserves drain at £2.5 million a day, and financial panic sets in.
By mid-month, Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald's Labour cabinet splinters over cuts to unemployment benefits.
That sounds familiar.
I know, right? Same thing as with Chancellor Müller in March last year, but the parallels do not end there.
On August 24th, MacDonald resigns. However, he is immediately reappointed by King George to lead a new national government encompassing all factions. It's a last-ditch attempt to save both the pound and the political system.
Anything else?
Yeah, meanwhile, the Soviet Union and France initiate a non-aggression pact, hoping to cool tensions as Europe's economies unravel.
And, I got one. In Spain, on the 2nd, Catalonia holds another referendum, on autonomy, and with over 99% voting yes, the region takes a major step towards self-government within the new republic.
Well, let's see how that goes.
Now we'll see how it goes.
And now, here's the Weimar Wire political indicator brought to you by Time Ghost.
Yeah.
No elections this month, but that doesn't mean we can't gauge the pulse of the Republic.
August brings a symbolic win for the Weimar coalition as the Prussian referendum fails.
Center parties, meaning the Bürgerblock, SPD, Centrum, and DDP, are up. Extremists aren't down, though. The ongoing financial and unemployment crisis still fan their flame.
And as August ends, we have a multitude of open questions.
Was the referendum truly a victory for democratic forces, or just a brief reprieve from the mounting authoritarian pressure?
And with Stalin openly interfering through the KPD, how long until Moscow meddles more directly?
Will the communists keep teaming up with the Nazis just to spite their true enemy, the social fascists of the SPD?
Britain is in freefall. Political crisis, financial panic. Can Germany still expect help from a country barely keeping itself together?
And perhaps the most ominous question of them all, if Hindenburg's already meeting with Hugenberg, is Germany now just one conversation away from being ruled by a cabinet including the DMVP, or even the Nazis?
Only time will tell. If you want to know more about some of the things we talked about in this episode, like the September 1930 elections, or how the Müller cabinet's collapse mirrors the current crisis in Britain, check out those episodes from 1930.
This journey into the past, made possible by the participation of the Time Ghost Army, allows us to remember and prevent the mistakes of tomorrow. Join the ranks at timeghost.tv or patreon.com to keep history alive.
Excelsior! Hey, no, you know what? Check it out. Look, we actually made it before Schnitzel and Schmaltz. They aren't even here yet.
Yeah, I was stressed, man. Last time Anna came in, shouting with a rolling pin in hand. I can tell you, that's a scary thing to behold.
Tell me about it. Okay, let's be quiet. You want to go get a beer?
Sure.
Let's go get a beer.
Let's do that.